Welcome back to Avant Garde v Royalty. That game, it really seemed more, it was a contest between Avant Garde and the clock, who could win faster. Hopefully, though, Royalty put up a bit more of a contest in this game. I'm going to head into picks and bans relatively quickly here. Royalty going to take the first pick option again here. I said this between Legacy and Panda, and, Legacy seemed to find a little bit more in that second game compared to the first one. What do Royalty need to do here to adapt to Avant Garde's playstyle?
Well, like we said pre-draft game one, they just need to pick aggressively, whether that's focusing out bans, as they ban out Cesano again. I was gonna say maybe they just need to ban out either Liquid or Chuckles or try to, and then just pick winning lanes. Just counter pick as they go, as much as they can, just to try and get on the front foot, start on the front foot.
Freya taken away by Avant Garde. I mentioned last game that's one of their favorite bans to take away in the initial stage. Susano is one of Royalty's favorite ones to take away. They tried to play it last game, not that much success. Raijin taken away as well by Royalty. I think they banned it out last time as well, but we saw with a cheetah played it in the Pandemonium games, just so strong, so much damage, and so safe as well. Don't want Divine to be on that. Excuse me, that one. Ratatoska taken away by Avant now as well.
Yeah, interested to see what Royalty got. I mean, the Terror's open. I know Hazy's new to the role, but I still think, as they lock in Jingwei, I still would have
like
liked to see the Terror there.
I do like the Jing way though, because it provides the Goros something in farm with safely against Rob Diggity, but also something that allows him to rotate into the fight. So we see the Erlang Shen and the Terra picked up here by Avant Garde. Pick up the Erlang if it's not broke. Don't change it.
Yeah, I'm just a Terra fan, I guess. So, but I'm comfortable with that. If he knows how he's going to play it, and if they can get some sort of advantage from the fact that he can't really be bullied out of lane, then I think that's the right idea. As we see the Soul and the Thor, so could be a Jingwei mid even.
That wouldn't surprise me because because the Goros is comfortable playing both physical and magical hunters. I mentioned though that lately he's tended more towards the physical side of things than the magical. So in my mind, it's a little bit more Jingwei towards the ADC role. And the soul. I mean, I guess it also depends on what Shank wants to play since he's new to the mid role.
Yeah, and I mean, with the Thor taken from Royalty, like you said, Bologna feels
Bologna.
good.
Yeah, he's played Bologna in exactly a quarter of his games, and he's played Rat and Sisano the other and a quarter each as well. So one of his staple picks here, really, he's just kind of no nonsense Bologna player, not looking to do anything too flashy, just get in your face, make you burn purification, just does slow you down a lot and allow the rest of his team to deal damage. Sylvanas banned away by Avant Garde and Janus banned away by Royalty here.
Yeah, I really like the Sylvanas ban. I think, especially with Terra, the only thing that can kind of match her is, the sustain and the push of Sylvanas. So again, picking and banning Avant themselves for lane push, which I would have liked to have seen Royalty do.
All right, last band's coming through. Fafnir and Cupid taken away by both sides. Avant with the option in terms of the pick here. Could look to get their ADC here, something for Rob Diggity. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Ram again. Possibly Izanami. Izanami wasn't looked at all last game. And it is going to be the Izanami, which we saw Maxim play in the last set. I was actually surprised he didn't get very much attention last game whatsoever. A very strong pick, I would say. We've only seen a brief bit of it here in the OPL, saw a little bit of it in the SPL group stages early in the morning, I suppose, 3 a.m. But a very strong pick, a lot of lane clear. And the stealth off the 3 as well is just, we've seen a lot of people make use of that both aggressively and defensively.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a top pick. And I mean, Sobek, I like the Sobek pick, but not so much into a Terra. And again, Guan, like, you're giving Suspiria these tough lanes. He's not going to be able to outpush this Erlang, and with this heavy invade comp in the Erlang and Bologna, again, are Avant going to invade, take that blue, and put Suspiria right on the back foot again, as they did game one?
I mean, they very well could with a Bologna and an Erlang Shen, who level 1 probably have it over a Guan Yu and a Thor. All right, let's go and head into game here so we can see Avant Garde up against Royalty. Last game of the day here last game of the day here for the OPL. We can see Avant Garde a lot of wards on that speed buff and on the path into that speed buff in Royalty's side of the jungle. Royalty have got one on the blue buff here. We can see Chuckles and Liquid Renegade already looking for it. Not quite spotted out by the ward just yet. I think Chuckles just walked into range of it now. They're looking for the speed buff now, actually, instead of just the blue buff.
Yeah, well, Royals suss this out, and I mean, with the Guan, they can't really fight this. If he gets pinned, you know, he should be dead, but...
Well, they've already forced the Guan Yu into his dash rather into his Tallow Assault, so already a little bit of a disadvantage. Look at Renegade taking a little bit of poke here, but Chuckles returning the damage equally onto Suspira. So a little bit of an awkward start here for both teams. Avant-Garde, they got some experience. I believe they took away one of the minions there, and Royalty took away the other one, but Avant-Garde just going to head back into lane. Divine rotating over? Is he? What's he doing here?
I think they just look to push and then probably invade again. We're a bit hesitant there, you know, Royal Custard this time going with the Wrath instead of the beads. And so a bit hesitant, happy to just get lane pressure with the Chronos and then in solo lane and then rotate back and take the blue again.
It looks like Avant want to steal the speed buff here, but Royal Custard secures it with a Wrath. Shank heads back to lane. Royal Custard's still level 1. Liquid Renegade is also level 1 here as well, so, you know, pretty even across the board. Liquid Renegade just hitting level 2 now. But a bit of an awkward start for both teams here, but both buffs inevitably again fall to Avant-Garde.
Well, I think Royalty claimed the speed with the Wrath there, actually.
Oh yes, you're correct.
And we also did fail to mention, you know, the mid pick here for Avant, like classic Divine late pick Chronos, so just comfort picks all around.
It's a little bit more late. Well, I guess the Chunga's pretty late game as well, but it's a very late game pick in terms of mid pressure for him. So, you know, I doubt we're going to see them break the record again this game. I mean, already just off the start, they're already off to technically a slower pace because they haven't got a kill yet. Well, actually, Thegoros gets a kill over in the left lane onto Rob Diggity, and another one. Hazy picks up a second kill here onto Gruff. So, I mean, Royalty getting themselves some early picks here. Up 2 kills already, but over the solo lane, Suspira takes a lot of damage from Chuckles, manages to get back under the tower though. Dual lane from Royalty though, showing a little bit of aggression.
Definitely, I mean, a confidence boost there. You know, if this dual lane can gain some momentum with the Sobek and the Sol, then maybe they are a chance. They're up 500 gold. They've got a bit of momentum, definitely. Will be interesting to see how they play it though, whether they, you know, take that and whether they have the confidence to play aggressively into such an aggressive team like Avant, or whether they'll just let Avant play their game on top of them.
What I think is important as well, you mentioned momentum, and you know that's not necessarily momentum in terms of a huge golden experience difference, but more of a psychological momentum as well. You know, showing, you know, last game they were just like pretty much unable at the start of the game to get a kill, and he's just showing now that, hey, you know, we could do this. You know, we do have a chance to take a game from these guys to show our worth kind of in the OPL here. You know, we've got the players that can do it. We just need to play around our style and, you know, highlight our strengths, cover our weaknesses.
Yeah, for sure. My only issue at the moment is that, like, when you're struggling this much as a team, it's kind of, even those small victories can be hard to translate into big wins.
Alrighty, Fire Imps there, taken away by Royalty, so getting themselves some decent farm here at the start of the game. You know, last game we just saw Avant just take everything away, mid-camps, Fire Imps, buffs, but, you know, already a much more improved start to Royalty's game in this one. The question is for them is, can they keep it up? Can they keep going and build off of this? It's not like a lead start here, but it's just a better start than last game. Is Hazy plucks Divine under the tower, knocks him up as well. He's rooted in place and stunned by Gruff. Is Hazy under the tower, so he's going to be just fine as Royal Custard comes to the mid lane. Spin to win to get away from Liquid Renegade. Thegoros is here as well. Excellent rotation out of the duo lane. Shanks around as well, but they just can't find the CC to get Gruff. Suspira being aggressed on under his tower here yet again by Chuckles. At this point, we shouldn't even look at the solo lane. We should just assume Chuckles is under Suspira's tower trying to get a kill. He knocks him up there with a turtle form, taunts him with the 9-turn blessing, trying to find the kill and does so with the exposed weakness. Actually, he didn't even use it there, just using it now on the wave. So Chuckles picks him up a solo kill. Divine picks up Royal Custard on an engagement here under the speed buff. And Avant saying, you know, you may have got 2 kills, but we're still Avant.
Yeah, well, Hazy had the right idea there, but again, it was kind of reactive. Like, they have the Thor, they have the Sobek playing aggressively into this Bologna with no beats, you know, the Chronos, they have all the early
Divine.
game.
Oh, okay. That was straight up cocky from Divine, and he paid for it there. He's just trying to walk by the Sobek. Sobek plucked him in, didn't even get a chance for a rewind as he takes tower shots there. So Divine just, you know, not caring that there's a tower there and paying for it. Rob Diggity plugged in as well. Good route there from Gruff. And now trying to get the stun to Hazy, doesn't quite manage to get it.
No, things just dying down there a bit in mid, as we see Chuckles, I think, getting a bit cocky there. He may go down to the Thor ult here.
It doesn't quite land here, but Spirit dashes through. And Royal Custer gets the kill. If he didn't get it, the airstrike from Shank was going to get it as well. So I think Avant are still... And this is a problem when you absolutely dominate the game before. You still have that feeling that you're up by like 7,000 gold, even at the start of the game. And so Avant are playing like they have this huge lead when really they don't.
Yeah, I imagine that was just Chuckles taking a bit of farm in between tier 1 and tier 2 there and, paying for it, but I don't think that'll worry him too much.
Alrighty, nearly 6 minutes in the game, even graphs thus far. Engagement here on the top of the right-hand side, mid-camps, Rockcaster nearly falls down. Gruff as well takes a lot of damage. Liquid Renegade loops in from the back and picks up the Thor. Rewind there from Idivine. Plucked in by Hazy. No escapes left for Idivine as his Purification is burnt as well. Supernova from Thagoras picks up a kill onto the Chronos. Gruff forced to run away from Hazy as well. Liquid Renegade chasing down the Sobek here. Chuckles rotates into the mid lane, picks up a kill onto Shank. Chuckles is taken low himself. Thagoras just can't land a basic here against Rob Diggity, forced to disapparate. Liquid Renegade, perfectly timed Robo Invicta, but Hazy, yet another great pluck there, stops the aggression onto his ADC. He's going to fall down for it though, but as any good support will tell you, and as I'm sure you will say as well, sacrificing your life for your teammate is always a good trade.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Royal Custer kind of getting caught out there. Divine, hitting the stop time perfectly as he threw his hammer, and then we saw Liquid clean up. Hazy is impressing me. He's playing these fights really well. It's just maybe a bit of a breakdown in targeting communication. They're not quite getting the picks and then resetting, or just playing these team fights quite efficiently as they could be.
Well, let's talk about Hazy for a little bit here as Divine's starting to pressure down this tier 1 tower in mid. He's been one of these players that's been kind of on the verge of the OPL since split number 1. Been in subbed for a couple of teams, been on a couple of challenges cup team as well, but never really seemed to get his chance in the OPL. And he's playing here on Royalty, and honestly, he's looking like their best player. When at the start of the split, all the talk was about Royal Custard. You've got some experience with Hazy. Talk to me about like just kind of the person he is and what he brings to the table in terms of a Smite player.
He's quite a laid-back guy, but I've spoken to him actually recently, and he's definitely keen. He's definitely excited to have this opportunity. He even like the other day he came to me, for a bit of advice in support. So he definitely, and he said he's enjoying the role, so he definitely wants to be here. It's just a matter of can his team play around him as when he's playing this well, so early on in this role's change.
Alright, Gold Fury taken there by Avant in the midst of all that. Hazy actually stunned out of his dash there. Gonna fall down to Rob Diggity's Dark Portal. Hazy falls down. Actually, on the right-hand side, we see Suspira and Royal Custard go aggressive onto Chuckles, but he's paying them back in kind, doing a lot of damage here to Suspira. Thagoras picks up Idivine. Roma Invicta from Liquid Renegade trying to find the kill onto Royal Custard. He does so. So trades back and forth across the map here between these two teams as both Royalty and Avant are picking up kills.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest factor there, of course, is the Gold Fury going in Avant's favor. And meanwhile, Chuckles 2 levels ahead of Suspira. He can't really do much, even with assistance from his jungler. Chuckles just wasting their time and, forcing them out.
He's 3 levels above him as well, and we haven't seen a whole lot of pressure in the solo lane or a whole lot of kills coming out from our Chuckles onto Suspira like last game, but just Chuckles, people say this time... people say this all the time with a little bit of sarcasm in their voice, but Chuckles is a monster.
He's definitely playing well tonight.
Well, I mean, he plays well every night, I think, to be fair to him. And I mean, I guess just tonight he's got his soloing boots on in terms of playing in the solo lane. And, I guess we could see why Pandemonium really didn't want that Erlang Shen out. Chuckles has got it 2 games in a row, and it's just a great god for taking on other solo laners 1v1. You get a lot of bonus damage out of that spot weakness. The pin has got so much CC on it in terms of a root and a cripple. It's like, what do you even do against that?
Yeah, I agree he's playing well, but I just think, I don't know if it's drafting for Royalty, especially against Avant. You can't be putting Suspira in this kind of position. He's just hard. They give up the Erlang twice, and they match him up with a lane that he's guaranteed to lose pretty much. So I think a lot of this could have been avoided just by simply as a different pick.
Well, instead of a Guan Yu, what would you rather sin? Like, besides banning out the Erlang, would you rather sin something like a Sun Wukong, or what else would you like to sin him play?
Just anything that at least he can hang early game, you know, some Wukong Vamana, anything of that liking.
Right, Royalty going to secure their red buff here. They were looking around the Gold Fury pit, but I guess they didn't know before that Avant had taken it. Now they have that information. Avant still have a lot of wards around that Gold Fury pit. We can see Liquid Renegade hanging around here. He's going to walk over a ward, so Royalty will know he's here. But will they have overextended too much to be able to get away? Great stun there from Idivine. Royal Custard. Roma Invicta. That's Liquid Renegade out of the jungle again. Idivine rewind in the mid lane. Managed to get back away from Hazy's damage. Gruff actually takes a bit of poke there. Looks to stun Suspiria, but just keeps him close to Liquid Renegade instead. Great tail whip there from Hazy. Great backflip as well. Idivine falls down. Suspiria gets the kill, but that was all Hazy. And now Gruff dashing in, gets the root down. Hazy takes some damage. Dark Portal comes through, but doesn't manage to land. Shank jumps up into the air, gets an attack speed increase. Rob Diggity dashes away with that stealth. But in the end, it's a one for none trade there, really in favor of Royalty. And, you know, we're talking about Hazy before. That was all him. Excellent timing there with his pluck.
Yeah, good, you know, good mechanics there. Just, you know, just kind of spin around and hit that pluck. But also, as well, from Idivine, you know, same old story. He hit the perfect stop time again on Royal Custard as he went to, you know, throw a hammer. And
that's right.
I guess, thankfully to Hazy, you know, or thanks to Hazy, they managed to get out with an even trade.
I forgot Royal Custard fell down there because his respawn timer, although he managed to get back up before the fight was done. But yeah, credit to Hazy there. Doing pretty decently this game, 1, 2, and 4. Part of a lot of the kills here from Royalty, but getting picked previously and going to get picked again here. Actually managed to dash away. Can he get to safety? No, Liquid Renegade picks him up with the Scourge. Thagoras in the jungle being looked at by Liquid Renegade and Rob Diggity, but they're going to back away. Idivine taking some damage. Airstrike comes through. Up in the air goes Royal Custard. Idivine doesn't have the rewind online. He used it in the last fight. Royal Custard missed. He missed, and Idivine picks up Shank, but Royal Custard gets Idivine in the end with the spin to win. Gruff's going to fall down here as well. Roman Victor from Liquid Renegade as he picks up Royal Custard. Rob Diggity's here as well. Stealth through the wall. Hello, Slan, it's me, Izanami. Thagoras, where you going? Got nowhere to go. Dark Portal comes through, forces Thagoras to stay around. Chuckles is here, picks him up with the pin.
Yeah, 3 for 2, and I mean, Avant should push mid here with Gold Fury spawning as well. They've got a couple of options. It'll be interesting whether to see where they go from here. Actually,
I'd like them to take the tier 1 tower, which looks like it's their call at the moment. Hazy going to take them away from here. Doesn't get the pluck on the Rob Diggity, but I'd like them to take this tier 1 tower because it opens up Royalty's jungle for them. And when they were able to do that in the last game, that's when they snowballed so quickly and were able to win so fast.
Of course, and again, well played by Hazy. You know, just no hesitation, just to ult, just to defend the tower.
He's got a Height of the Urchin here, only 1 stack on it so far. That's probably the only questionable thing I'm finding about Hazy's play and support here is, you know, obviously, I guess his team's getting kills, but he just hasn't been around them too much, or he's fallen down at the start of the engagements, but you know, maybe something like a Heartwood Amulet there to deal with the damage coming out from Idivine, or, you know, even a Breastplate. You know, the Hide is just a little bit, I feel like it's reaching a bit too much for me.
I think the other way around. I think he's not getting focused by this Chronos. You know, Divine is going on Royal Custard. Terra doesn't, you know, really do that much damage. I would have liked to see, you know, just straight up just a Sovereignty here. I mean, you have the Bologna, you have the Erlang, you have the Izanami, all physical. Like, that's where all the damage is coming from early. The Chronos, not at all really, or like, not as much early. So, definitely a suspect buy there.
Alright, look, he's gone for another cloak item here as well, so I suspect that's probably going to be a not a Mantle of Discord, a Spirit Robe, to lessen some of the CC effects and to take less damage once he's CC'd, because, you know, he's been getting Chronos stunned, or he's been taking the stun from Eagle's Rally, even rooted in place by Gruffle, stunned by the Crushing Earth. So just a little bit of extra damage mitigation for those effects, because, you know, once you dash in as a Sobek, it's really difficult to get out again.
Yeah, as Avant, you know, posturing up to force this Gold Fury, and Liquid playing super aggressively.
Yeah, he's looking to just take Shank away from the fight here, and now Avant looking to fight instead. Royal Custard just barely manages to get up into the sky, gets away under his own tower. Hazy hanging around, he is on a ward here, placed by Liquid Renegade, so he will be spotted out, takes down the ward, and now we can see Royalty coming in, looking like they want to contest this Gold Fury, but Suspiria's just getting blown up here. And now Idivine forced to rewind as well. Hazy lurking in the waters, just trying to zone Avant away from the Gold Fury. They do so, but now it looks like the rest of Royalty's going to pay for it. Thagoras forced to use the Sanctuary here, but it doesn't last to infinity, and Idivine picks up the kill. And Avant
The
gonna
whole
look for the Gold Fury.
Well, I mean, that was perfect shot calling there. They forced them out and they kept chasing. They got the pick onto grass, and Gruff and Rob instantly turned to the Gold Fury and started it. And by the time the rest of the team fell back, it was 50%. And what impressed me more was just the forcing out of Thor. Not only forcing the Thor ult and all of kind of their engage and steal potential, but you're also taking the Wrath out of the mix. And then when you have the Wrath and they don't, and the only real steal potential is probably the Sobek ult. Just it's pretty straightforward from there. And as we saw, pretty free for Avant.
Divine picks up a kill in the mid lane and a free tower once he takes down Royal Cluster. The rest of his team pushing down the left-hand side. A game that again is going very quickly, not going to break the record, but still very fast game here from Avant. They're pushing under the tier 2 tower. Gruff roots the Spirit in place, who's taking a lot of damage. Airstrike forced out from Shank as well, as Chuckles goes aggressive on him. Sphira, cavalry charge ultimate, looking to stun someone out. Rather than just get out himself, stuns out. Chuckles tries to do some damage to him, but this is a fed Erlang Shen. You're not going to do too much to him. Dashing away with a turtle form, but Hazy plucks him back in. A concentrated team effort might pick up a kill here. Hazy taking some damage. Tier 2 tower falls to Spira. Stun into the Dark Portal. Fegora's going to fall down here as well to El Chuckles. And now Avant pressure down the left-hand side. Royal Custard going in very aggressively here, but rooted in place with the pin. Doesn't even manage to get away with the teleport from the Mjolnir's attunement. Shank looking for Divine here, knocks him up. Shank might be able to find the one-on-one kill here, but not willing to fully commit to that fight as Avant are looking for a Phoenix.
They're just too far behind. We saw even Royal Custard hitting the 2-3 man ult. He just didn't have the damage. Gruff was very low and he couldn't even take him out.
What really to me more there was Hazy plucking Chuckles, no, not Chuckles, I believe. Yeah, Chuckles back in when he was in the turtle form, below 25% HP, but there was just no follow-up. There was nothing there to confirm the damage, nothing there to just do anything. Everyone was just also scattered, and I think you mentioned before, just the target calling from Royalty seems to be a little bit off kilter.
And of course, the double hunter, they just, they're not quite online yet. They're kind of relying on Royal Custard, and then to an extent Suspira to keep the team alive, but Suspira's just so far behind, he can't have any sort of impact. I mean, I think he's only just at level 14, so only just maxed out the conviction. He's, at this stage, literally just a heal bot, and it's, with Erlang being 4 levels ahead, he just offers so much more.
Alright, taking a look at our graphs. As we head towards the 18-minute mark, experience 13,000, nearly 14,000 in favor of Avant. Gold, 10,000, close to 11,000, all in favor of the boys in blue. They're on the red side of the map this game, but their jerseys are a nice shade of blue. I believe you've still got one at home.
I do.
Elthagora soloed out there by Rob Diggity. So that's going to be very painful for Royalty for the next 40 seconds. They're not going to have their ADC online, so there's going to be a little bit of extra push across the map for Avant in this one. And they might even look for the Fire Giant here as we see Liquid and Gruff hover around that objective.
Yeah, I mean, a bit unlike Pandas in our previous set, I don't think Avant aren't as hesitant to start up these objectives and force them and take those risks.
Gruff taking a little bit of poke here from Hazy and Suspira, but not terribly worried about it. Royal Custard's here as well. Spin to win onto Liquid Renegade did next to no damage, with that Mid-Guardian mail online. And a little bit of extra health coming through from the Frostbound Hammer as well. It's very difficult for Royal Custard to do anything here. El Chuckles looks to get the kill onto Royal Custard, taunts him in. Divine already has picked up one as well onto Suspira. Hazy lurking in the waters here to avoid the CC, but Chuckles chasing after him with the Mink form. No damage available here, but as you mentioned, Avant more willing to take these Fire Giant calls than Pandemonium were in the last set, and now they're starting it up, committing to it. Rob Diggity's here finally to do a little bit more damage to this structure or this objective than what Divine was doing, who's not quite got as much damage online yet as he would like. Fire Giant falls down here to Avant. Great call there. Shank knocks himself up, but just walks towards the enemy tower. This is a great tactic here, just delaying Avant as much as possible from taking a structure and forcing them really to try and chase after him.
And while I say, less hesitant to make those calls, it's a lot easier to make those calls when you do have the Wrath.
Yeah, obviously. All right, Hazy standing here in front of Avant, realizing there's nothing he can do, and dashes back towards the Phoenix. No towers left available here for Royalty. Avant have all 6 of theirs up, so, at this stage, it's really how long is it going to take Avant to win? There's no real way for Royalty back into it at 80,000. Experience down 13,000 gold, but we've seen teams come back from worse. So never say never, but Rob Diggity takes a little bit of damage there, forces the purification, so that's a positive trade here at the start for Royalty, but really it's going to come down to where's Avant going to commit, and we can see Idivine starting to do some damage to the structure here. Royal Custard, I'm looking at him, when he goes up, that's going to be the big moment for Royalty, that's when they really going to be all or nothing, but he's not even going to get a chance as the Dark Portal comes through from Rob Diggity and picks up the kill, the Goros Disapparate form, but it's not going to be enough, it's not going to last long enough as Liquid Renegade picks up a kill, and Royalty are falling like flies here. Titan being started up here by Avant-Garde. Only Shank left to defend, but he doesn't have the damage here. Flies up in the air with his passive. He knows he can't do anything here. He's just going to try and do some damage. Knocks up 3 members here, but Titan started up. Titan got a drop here in just a second. Avant actually, delaying this game here, just trying to pick up another kill. They might lose Gruff if they're not careful here, but no, in the end, they just turn around, commit to the Titan, put it in the ground. Avant take the set 2-0.
Yeah, well, now after that result, 2 things kind of interest me now. Firstly, Panda's taking on Royalty tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see how well they do against them. But also next week is Panda's Avant, and that's looking definitely the 2 strongest teams in the league right now.
Well, let's take a talk now with the man, the myth, the legend, El Chuckles. Chuckles, excellent set there by you. I think you had something like 4 or 5 solo kills in that first game and 1 or 2 in the second one. I said it during the cast, you're a monster. And, just talk to us a little bit about the performance and what it takes to be a monster.
First pick Erlang Shen.
And so it's all the pick then. It's none of your skill. It's just all the picks.
Yeah, I'm garbage, mate.
Yeah. So Biggie was just alluding to it a little bit beforehand. Next week, you guys take on Avant. So you guys take on Pandemonium, I should say. You guys are Avant. But this week,
Interesting match.
Tomorrow, Pandemonium take on Royalty. So, obviously you guys broke your own record, 14 minutes there. Are you worried at all that Pandemonium's going to break your record?
It'll be a fun match to watch, I'm sure. Pretty confident in 14 minutes.
Yeah. 6 minutes before you can surrender and you win the game. The other part we want to talk about is next week, you guys versus Pandemonium, and that's going to be a big one. Last time you guys played, you split. How do you guys next week get the 2-0? What is it going to take for you guys to do that?
And we're going to be putting in, a lot of effort, scrimming and theorizing on the lead up, because it's obviously a big match. The difference between first and second seed.
Right,
So,
Biggie, any questions for our guest?
My question is, obviously, coming from LAN looking so strong in a LAN environment, and then the challenge there was to transition that to online. Things looked a little bit shaky. A few splits. I split with Panda last time, but I think you guys probably looked to be the stronger team in that matchup. And now, obviously, you've had 2 kind of easy weeks. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing in the fact that, you haven't really been challenged for, 2-3 weeks heading into a big matchup, whereas Pandas, had a big challenge in Legacy. So it's kind of a bit easier to get a gauge of where they're standing at the moment. How do you feel going? Do you feel like it's stronger to have this momentum, or would you have liked some tougher matchups heading into this one?
Definitely the momentum of winning 6 games in a row is it's obviously helpful for team morale and keeping everyone happy and all, but it's sort of 50-50, I think. Obviously you're going to be improving against better, the top competition, having those wins, and also of course scrimming as well against the top teams. So it's not like we haven't had 0 top practice.
Yeah, that's true.
I've actually got a final question for you here, Chuckles. So tomorrow, if Alpha Sydney split or better with Corvidae, you guys are actually confirmed for LAN. So are we going to see you Alpha Sydney colors on, cheering in the chat for them tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, I've trusted in my boy Swifty before, and he's never led me astray. Carried me
got
to
you to LAN
LAN.
last time.
Yeah. I believe in Swifty.
All right. Any shout outs before you go, Chuckles?
Yeah. Shout outs to Avant and Papa Wesley. Shout outs to Desecrator's Record.
Oh,
And,
and congrats for breaking the record, by the way,
yeah,
Chuckles.
yeah. And of course, shout outs to you, Biggie, and your casting. You know,
Oh,
you're doing a swell job so far, and you know you're really making the role your own.
thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Chuckles. We're now going to talk to the ADC from Royalty, Thagoras. So Thagoras, a rough matchup for you this week, to say the least. You know, things are starting to look pretty tenuous in terms of being able to go to LAN. You know, it just seems like you guys haven't quite clicked yet, and you know you're doing a role swap and stuff. You know, what do you guys? What's the communications like between the teams? You know, what are you guys really concentrating on, you know, heading into Team Pandemonium tomorrow?
Honestly, right now, it's mostly about us just looking to get as much experience as we can off of these top teams and bring it back into next season, you know, next split, and hope to bring it back there.
So Cosner has left the team, and you brought in Hazy initially for the mid role, but now Shanks transferred into the mid lane and Hazy into the support role, and he actually did quite well today. You know, talk to us a little bit about what Hazy brings to the table.
So Hazy, we've had him around actually as our sub for quite some time, and he's almost been our coach, I'd say. So he knows a lot about what we do around the map. So putting him in the support role really, like, he knows sort of what behavior is. So he's able to make those plays and make sure those quick judgments about what to do in fights as a support. So I think it really suits him.
Biggie, any question for our guest?
I was just gonna further question the role swap. How does it feel? Obviously, you're not getting the results. We can't see scrims. Maybe it's worked okay in scrims, but I mean, a tough matchup against Avant. Are you guys? Is this role swap permanent? Do you think? Is it an improvement on, you know, Shank support and Hazy mid of the previous week?
Well, I mean, for me in the duo lane, it's a bit rough just because I don't know Hazy as well, obviously. So it's been just duo communication itself has been a bit off. But right now, we knew that we weren't really performing either way at this point. So, and Hazy was really seeming to liking the support role, and Shank was just kind of, he wasn't feeling it anymore with the support role, and he's really liking mid. So I feel like even if it's not permanent, it will probably remain this way for the rest of the split.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna let you go, Thagoras. Any shoutouts before you leave?
I'd like to shout out Bradley, Danishes, and of course the organization Royalty for really helping us out. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very much, Thagoras. Going to do it for us here at CG Smite for day number 1 of week number 5 of split number 3. Tomorrow, tune in. We have got Alpha Sydney versus Corvidae, and then we have Royalty taking on Team Pandemonium. As we mentioned, if Alpha Sydney split all better with Corvidae, Avant are confirmed for LAN. But if they split all better with Corvidae and Pandemonium split all better with Royalty, Pandemonium will be confirmed for LAN as well. So a little bit of playoff spots on the line tomorrow. And, you know, both of those teams, Corvidae and Royalty, I expect to come out. They really need to, what I want them to do is I want them to come out with something a little bit different, just something they maybe have been, you know, holding up their sleeve, waiting for the right moment to pull it out. Well, the moment's now, not many chances left. But that's going to do it here for us here at everyone at Cybergamer. Thank you very much, Biggie, for joining me tomorrow. Alpha Jackal is going to be back. And yeah, make sure you guys are all ready for the Split 3 LAN, the regional finals here. You know, we got some high-res people coming down. Adonis and high-res Dan are both coming down. I know everyone's excited for that, so more information is going to be coming out on that soon. So make sure you stay tuned to Twitter, you know, at CG Smite, and all of us here at Cybergamer. I'm sure we'll all be tweeting it out at some stage. But yeah, Biggie, you know, thank you for joining me. Anything you'd like to say before you go?
No, I'm just glad you didn't have another Shing 10 moment this week.
Dude, no one is as relieved as I am. Let me believe you. I even got called out on the bloody SPL stream as well about it. And you know, it's probably Weave's most popular tweet. You know, if only he had as much success in his games as he did with his social media.
Jeez, all right.
Yeah, alrighty. So that's gonna do it here from all of us. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.